Hi, Kangiwa. Do you wait to lead? Or do you pray that someday you'll be given the chance to lead? Or do you think that leadership is a gift? Do you? Perhaps you were told that the patient dog eats the fattest bones, so you wait. You wait in vain to lead a population of 180 million Nigerians. Wait a minute. Did I just limit your potential to a territory when you could in fact lead and have the entire world follow? We are talking a population of over 7.5 billion people, and you still want to wait at the gate until it's late? You call that faith? Too many people are asleep and unable to take a leap into the future that is fast unveiling itself before our very eyes. For us to arise, we have to first be aware of what is coming, and we must awake to take it when it comes. I might be speaking in parables, yes, I know, but I hope you can feel my words, and I hope I do not suffer your brains. But feel or suffer, I might be your philosopher. And I can see through your eyes that you are as keen as me to know more, but you're not asking me to say more. But I'll tell you a story. In the year 1440, a German publisher, Johannes Gutenberg, invented the world's first movable ink printing machine. And it revolutionized the way we printed books since that day. 60 years after that time, in the year 1500, over 200 million books had been printed with the use of Gutenberg's invention. Governments over time have made use of that invention to revolutionize the way they govern, the way they print laws, the way they print currencies instead of coins as it was in the past. And today, even with slight modification, we all are grateful to Gutenberg for creating a future we now call today. Gutenberg led, and the world followed. Let me bring you back to our generation. In the year 2008, a group of people by a pseudonym, Satoshi Nakamoto, formed an idea of cryptocurrency called Bitcoin that created a new way of transactions that revolutionized the financial sector. But it only took about 10 years for the people to realize the idea was truly revolutionary. And even with several fightbacks from governments all over the world, they have now come to the reality that this is the way. While some governments have keyed into the vision, others have created another version of the vision. But at the end of the day, we can say that Satoshi led and governments followed. Let me talk about my personal experience. In the year 2019, I set up one of West Africa's first leading facility for training and research in robotics and AI. 15 years after I did that, the federal government of Nigeria launched the National Center for AI and Robotics. Can we say that Olusola led and the government followed? Because we live in times where government is not necessarily leadership, and leadership is beyond government. At a time when you can actually be in government, but you still need the intelligence of more than just one mind. The world now needs the combined intelligence of a generation past, and the leaders, those in government, have to look out of the box and think out of the box, looking for leaders of thought, leaders who have expertise, leaders who can make decisions today that see into the future. We are talking of artificial intelligence, and that's why I'm here today, to open your eyes into the world of AI that sits right between our palms. If only we could embrace this. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a phenomenon whereby a non-human device, typically a computer algorithm, is able to collect facts from the past, learn from history, to make decisions of measurable confidence. The world today needs AI, and AI is so disruptive that it's no longer true that in the land of the blind, a one-eyed man is the king. How can a one-eyed man be the king when a blind man is equipped with computer vision, an aspect of artificial intelligence that allows him to see even beyond the walls of his room, that allows him to identify every object even while he is asleep? The world is so fast changing, simple but complex, that I am beginning to get worried about what the young man in coma will be able to do or not to do when he wakes up 5 years after. With road signs that are smart, with smart roads that can track your taxation, with ballard track your taxation, with ballards and billboards that show you the much needed adverts. We are talking of smart energy meters that monitor your lifestyle. It's getting to a point where there is no place to hide. And this is the world we live in. You know what? We have to be very concerned and take the responsibility to lead. Because let's look at what's going on in the medical sector, in the healthcare sector, where it's no longer necessary for a medical expert, a world-leading expert, to travel all the way 10 kilometers or 10,000 kilometers to operate on a patient when he can just sit in the comfort of his laboratory, put his hands into a robotics glove, and operate by teleoperation on a patient far away under a robotic arm in a theater. We call that robot-assisted surgery in teleoperation. My point is this. It's going to get to a point where the robots would learn how to conduct that surgery that you might not even need a physical doctor wearing a glove. Today, the idea of physically attending to a patient, if you are a medical doctor, is fast fading away. Not just because of what's happened in the era of COVID, but because AI developers are now supporting medical doctors to create expert systems that are equipped with a simulation of the brains of generations of doctors. So now patients can sit in front of a doctor, and converse through what we call conversational AI, which makes it look like they are actually talking to a real doctor, whereas they are chatting with a deepfake simulation of a doctor. All of the communication between the doctor and the patient all over the world will be going into a central database system that is able to be accessed by a central organization. And the purpose of this is to deploy AI to extract patterns and trends in medical cases all over the world, so they can quickly detect when there is a presence of a pandemic before it even leaves the community. Let's look at what's happening in the financial sector. In the financial sector today, you have cryptocurrency, you have virtual banking, you have a lot, so that it's even very difficult to say that you need a loan and you cannot get a loan. Before now, there was need for physical collateral, but right now, virtual banks do not even demand for your physical collateral because they can rely on your data as your collateral. Because with that, they can track your physical collateral. But right now, virtual banks do not even demand for your physical collateral because they can rely on your data as your collateral. Because with that, they can track your location, they can track everything about you. Now you have smart adverts laced with AI that can help you stay focused on a product, spend your money on that product, get addicted to that product, borrow and remain under the control of these intelligent companies. And that's why I laugh when parents say to me that, oh, their child is addicted to a game. Little do they know that these games are laced with artificial intelligence that keeps the child addicted without knowing. The world is fast changing. Artificial intelligence is either a weapon for defense or a weapon for attack. And that is because data, information, is a critical component of a battle. And with AI, you can extract information from data that is even unrelated. And how then can you escape from that weapon? Let's look at what is happening in the world of transportation today, where what we have seen with aeroplanes, we are beginning to see with amphibian vehicles that can sail on sea, drive on road, and fly in air. We are talking of a world that is fast changing and needs leaders that can lead that change. And so, guess what about these vehicles? Driverless. So jobs are going to go away, but more jobs are going to be created by those who know what to do. And so, let us continue to pretend that leadership is all about elections. Let us continue to pretend that until you are voted into power, you cannot solve any problems. Let us continue to pretend, I say, that the physical problems and insecurity that we see today can only be solved with physical might and weaponry. Let us pretend, Kangiwa, okay, that the Messiah is not yet born. But when we are done pretending, and we are tired of complaining, we will then realize that the solutions we seek from overseas are right under our sleeves. And at that point, we shall roll up our sleeves and tap into the potentials of artificial intelligence. That is the leadership the world needs today. And as for me, I have started the journey. What about you? Thank you. Hi.